my name is Georgia Adderley, and thank you Glenboig Primary School for sending through some questions for Women in Sport Week, and I'm just going to go through and answer them for you. So first question was, what is your involvement in sport? So I'm a squash player. I'm 19 years old. I am at the University of Edinburgh. At the same time, I am studying sports science. I'm in third year, and I'm also a professional squash player. I train full time, I would say, as well as doing my uni degree on the side. So pretty busy life, but I absolutely love it. I also am really passionate about getting women and girls involved in sport, and something that I hope to continue doing throughout my career. So first question from Poppy. Thank you, Poppy. Really great question. How did you have courage to go into a club? Yeah, amazing question. So when I was younger, when I was 5, I played football. Played football up until I was 16 years old. And this is definitely something I really struggle with. It's quite a scary thing, stepping foot in a club with people you don't know, uncertain surroundings, and yeah, it can be really new and different. So I think for me, when I finally got round to going into a club, I remind myself of how much I enjoy the sport. I think when I was younger especially, like, I just wanted to play as much football as I could. And as I got older, so when I started playing squash when I was around 11, again, it was just like, I really enjoy this, I really want to play as much as I can. So I think I would say that is a big thing to remind yourself of when you're thinking about going into a club, is that you love the sport, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to get to do that sport more often, and try and remind yourself of that even when maybe you get a bit uncertain and anxious about it. Thank you for that question, Poppy, that was brilliant. Next question from Katie. How many days and hours a week do you do in your role? So as a professional athlete, I'm a squash player. I personally tend to train 3 to 4 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I'm doing just over 20 hours roughly a week. Kind of varies from week to week depending what kind of sessions I'm doing. But I do a variety of different stuff. I started doing a lot more yoga these days. I do that every day, which is really fun to start my day or end my day. I spend a lot of time on court, so whether that's with my coach, whether that's with other people playing matches or doing sessions. Obviously, a lot of this has changed due to COVID, but in previous months and years, this is the case. And doing a lot of solo and some movement stuff. I also do some running sessions and get in the gym as well. So doing a wide variety of things, all kind of tailored to what I'm trying to work on at that moment in time. So it varies from like every 4 to 6 weeks, that kind of changes, and sometimes week to week that changes too. Thank you for that question, Katie. Next question from Calvin. Do you have a sporting idol? This is a very good question. There are so many inspirational people in sport. To name a few people that I would look up to, Jessica Ennis-Hill, the heptathlete. She is, I think she's really inspirational in the way that she came back from having a baby. And also the same with Serena Williams. Her passion on court is inspiring and something that I aspire to. And yeah, I just think both of them are really incredible female athletes and really inspiring. I also think Andy Murray for the sport of Scotland the sport in Scotland has been incredible and amazing, the success that he has achieved down to his hard work, which is again really inspiring. I would just really recommend to find yourself someone who you look up to and learn from them and watch them as much as you can, whether that's in your chosen sport or not. You can learn loads of different things from the way that athletes conduct themselves. So yeah, that's definitely, I've got a few sporting idols. The next question, is a couple of questions in this, so thank you, Rosie, for this question. This is a brilliant question, and really brave of you to ask as well. Did you ever think about giving up when you faced a setback? And if you did, how did you overcome those thoughts? So to start this answer, I would say yes, absolutely. I can't speak for every athlete, but I know a few athletes who would absolutely agree that this happens. Sport is hard, the environment is hard. You're at a professional level, you're training really, really hard every day, and it's the minor things that make the difference. So it could be something as simple as not having the right mindset on the day, or not having the right tactical game plan on the day, that could be the cause for you losing. So that can be really hard. For me, when I was around 17, 18, I really struggled, and I was not really enjoying my training as much as I should have been. I wasn't training well, I wasn't playing well. Just in general, I was kind of struggling and feeling pretty down about playing squash. And but actually what I did is I worked really hard with my coach and some other people as well, just to kind of really prioritise the things that I enjoyed in my training. So for me, I really enjoyed the gym aspect of things, so I made sure when I was in the gym I was really enjoying it and reminding myself that was fun. I also really enjoyed hitting with certain people, so again, like, I tried to do more of that, just to just enjoy it, try and enjoy it as much as I could, remind myself of why I love sport. And eventually that really paid off. I took a little bit of time off at the end of that season when I struggled in the middle bit, took 4 weeks off and got back to it, and I loved it. And actually, I have to say, now I enjoy every single session I'm doing, and I'm so thankful for that journey of finding that enjoyment again, because it gives you so much sport. And I would also just say, talk to people if you're really struggling and you're finding it hard to, if you face a setback and you're finding it hard to, I guess, rationalise and like understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Have a chat to people. Other people will have felt the same, and you're not alone in those feelings, I think, as well. Thanks for that, Rosie. That was a great question. Next question from Sam: what have been the high points of your journey? Controversially, I would actually say over lockdown has been a big high point in my journey. Obviously, it's been a big struggle for lots of people in the country, and it's been an awful time in the health of our nation. But for me, in my training, it has been really positive, because I've been able to kind of almost understand what I want to do, and the way I want to train, and the way I want to play. So basically, in general, I stripped it right back and started looking about what I wanted to improve. And from that point on, I every session meant something, and I wasn't going in with this attitude a couple of years ago. So every session has a purpose, and that's been transformational in my training and my playing. I guess came at a good time for me, being able to change a few things which have been really good. I also have to say that the European Team Championships in 2019 were a personal highlight, and these were, as a Team Scotland, women came fourth, which was amazing. We'd just been promoted into the top division, and we had some amazing team performances, and we just had a great time. It was a really fun event, and we all played our part really well, which was amazing. And yeah, it was just an amazing week and performances, so that has got to be a big high point in my journey as well. Next question from Grace: who inspired you to get involved in sport? Again, really good question. Loads of people inspired me to get into sport, to be honest. Being able to watch it on the TV is inspiring, and I think from a young age, I just love sport. I just wanted to play and play and play, and I enjoyed it. And my school was really supportive, so when I played football when I was younger, the school was really good. They had a female football team and got us involved, which was amazing. And as well, like, really, really thankful to them for that. Also, my dad inspired me to get involved in sport. He's a keen club squash player, and he was playing squash when I picked up my first racket. So I was down watching him play, and I just had a go, and I loved it. So so big shout out to him as well. And I think family, friends, and also sport is like broadcasted so wide these days, so I think having that as well is really inspiring. A special day was like you guys are probably a little bit too young to remember, but some of you out there might remember Super Saturday in 2012 at the Olympics, was when 3 Brits won gold medals on the same day, and it was just phenomenal, and that inspired me to want to be a professional athlete from that point on, I think. Thank you, Grace, for that question. Next question from Lily: what age did you start your position? How did you get into it? So, as I said earlier, I started playing football when I was 5 at school, but I started playing squash when I was just about to turn 11. I was down the squash club with my dad and picked up a racket, and from then I didn't really stop. So I kept going with both of them until I was 16, and then made the decision to go down the squash route when I was 16. So yeah, I guess again, like, family got me into it. I think school was really helpful. I would just really recommend that you would get involved. There are clubs on, and there are clubs in everywhere. So whatever you enjoy, there will be something for you. Give it a go. Next question from Ebony. Do you need to be extremely talented to join a sports club? Really great question, Ebony. Straight up answer, no, absolutely not. What clubs want and need is a variety of standards, ages and genders, and just enjoy it. As long as you enjoy it and you want to get better or make friends, then do it. Just join the club. They will welcome you with open arms, I'm sure. And I speak for all, like, clubs, I hope. Like, we just want more of you guys playing sport, and that is exciting and inspiring to us as well, to see people pick up a racket or pick up a ball or whatever it is for the first time. So no, and also all we want is hard work beats talent anyway. So if you're working hard, then you'll get there eventually in your standard. But just enjoy it. Like, genuinely, I hope that you see that from most of these answers. Like, it comes down to enjoyment and wanting to do it. Yeah, so 2 more questions to go. Alfie, how is COVID affecting your involvement in sport? Thank you, Alfie. Great question, very relevant right now. So I think for squash players, obviously squash is a indoor contact sport, so it's quite late on the restrictions being released, so it's been quite different in the way that we've had to train over lockdown. Shout out to my mum and dad who allowed me to use their sitting room wall as a squash court, so that's got lots of black squash marks on it, so we're getting that repainted soon. But yeah, I had to be inventive in that way and use car parks instead of squash courts and things like that. Also for squash at the moment, there's events on, but only if you're kind of top 40 in the world, so I'm sitting kind of at 90 at the moment, so there aren't really any events, which is really different. But I think, again, you kind of got to go in with an open mind in that and say, you know what, like, these things happen, and just using it as fuel to get better for the next time that you do step on court. Thanks for that question, Alfie. And the last one for today is, how is being a female in sport impacted on your role? So as a female in sport, there's been a couple of things that have stood out to me. I think firstly, the number of people playing the sport feels a lot lower as a female in sport. I know for me, I struggle with that, especially in the individual sport side of things. That growing up, there weren't many people playing alongside me, so I was quite often hitting with the boys or a lot older people or a lot younger people, which I think is quite hard. And that's why I think if you're keen to join a club, join it, because the more the better. Because as someone who played sport throughout my whole kind of junior career, school life, I suppose, having some of my own age made a huge difference, just to be able to have a little bit of a social aspect to it. I think one other thing would be, there's been, in the squash side of things, they're slowly getting there in the fact that tournaments are kind of, there's the same amount from male and female, but there's still a few more male events than female events. So little things like that. But I do think I see it getting there slowly. We're getting there. And yeah, I think I would just say to all you young girls and boys out there, get involved in sport. It's amazing for you mentally and physically. Whatever it is you enjoy, go and give it a try. Try new things as well. You never know, something might surprise you. So yeah, that's all the questions for today. Thank you so much, guys. If you've got any more questions, send them through. I can answer them whenever. I hope that's been helpful, and yeah, hopefully speak to you soon. Bye bye.